Now, this is something that's been happening for the past couple of weeks, where people come to my channel and they say,
"Hey Beasty, why there is so many Maphackers between D1 Conk 1?
There's not. That's just a copium, brother. Thank you for the resub. Every third game that I play has a Maphacker. Ladies and gentlemen, Zackle, who resubbed and asked, why is there so many Maphackers between Diamond and Conqueror 1? And I said, okay, what is your in-game name? Let's check it out. By logic, we should have a Maphacker every third game. Now, you have an account with only team rank games. Check defeats, I guess, bro. Chill. Don't do it like that. Okay, let's go one by one. We're gonna check the most recent and just go down the line. To be fair, he did give out his name. So, his name is Programus. So, you know, props for that. Because a lot of people that complain about Maphackers, they just, like, refuse to give their name for me to check, right? I'm not gonna check his allies. I'm assuming he's talking about his opponents, right? So his opponents in this game are Mina and Gaines Hunter. Team games is even more hard to know if the opponent is hacking. No, it's very simple. I can tell if someone is hacking in 2 minutes. So let me let you know why. In team games, people that, by the way, there are hackers in the game. Surprise Pikachu, there are hackers in every game. I don't know if people are aware of this, but every online game that you play, there are hackers and cheaters. In team games, people are not gonna like do some sophisticated methods to try and hide the fact that they're hacking. They're just gonna map hack and they're gonna make it super obvious, right? Or zoom hack or whatever else. So it's not very hard to see if someone is hacking or not. This looks completely normal, so he hasn't looked at anywhere on the map. His camera is normal. He says this game is sus, but I'ma check. Okay, well, he looks completely normal to me. He's also not shift clicking into the sheep. He's constantly checking his scouts, so he looks fine. Let's check his ally, Gaines Hunter. But please let me know what was the suspicious part. Okay, again, scouting looks completely normal. You know what's hilarious? A lot of people mistake... So let me show you something. So this is the camera I play with. And a lot of people mistake this camera that I play with, that is like the normal camera, with this one. They think that this angle means map hack. Or like zoom hack or whatever. This is just the other camera that you can use in the game. The only way to tell is by turning off free camera. This is not free camera. This is their camera. See? Do that. Okay. So what is the sus part? You said this game is sus. This looks completely normal from both of them. I haven't seen a single thing that is suspicious here. I ain't gonna lie, the part about camera is making it more clear for me. So let me translate that for everybody watching. He was not aware that you can have a camera like this, and then you can also have a camera like this. He thought that this is map hacking or zoom hacking because he didn't know that this camera exists. Now this is what I told him earlier. Because you're losing games, you go, well, that guy is map hacking for sure. And then you heard, oh, there's a zoom out hack. And then you open a replay and you see this and you go, oh, he's hacking. That's why I lost. And that's what we call copium. And I guarantee you, and I'm willing to bet money, 95% of people who say they have encountered a hacker and someone is hacking, I guarantee you that they just are not aware that you can use the different camera angle. That's game number 1. Looks clean. Maybe we'll still get surprised. Maybe we're not gonna find a hacker. There's a lot of people who are just completely unaware that there's literally a different camera. When you repeat these things, like, oh, my opponents are always hacking and they're hacking and hacking, other people hear it and then they repeat the same thing. And then all of you combined make it like the game has infinite amount of hackers and it's a huge problem, and it puts people away from playing the game. Here we go. This is the second game, Sanada Maru. He looks like he's scouting. This is his POV, by the way. I'm not touching the keyboard. This is his POV. He is scouting. Again. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Let's check his ally. Maybe he's doing some business. Okay. All right. Well, I hope we got the point across. Now we're gonna check the third game because the statement was every third game the opponent is map hacking. Not the requested game. Well, the statement was every third game. So we're going to check 3 games in a row and see the opponent's hacking. And then we're going to check his game. Okay. So let's see. This is red. That's his guy. We're going to put it ×2. So yeah, if you said every third or fourth game there is a map hacker in a 4v4 game, I wouldn't be like, nah, there's no way that happens. Yeah, there's a chance, right? Every third game hacking in 2v2 and 1-on-1 is just bullshit. Like, that's just people who are not able to take their losses. And of course their opponent has to be cheating. That's why they lost, right? And again, this is team games, which, yeah. And by the way, once again, Programus, I don't know what to call it, if I should go by Twitch name or in-game name, but Programus, at least he had the balls to give his name to check it out. Because I've had tens of people in the past, let's say 2 weeks, that were complaining about map hackers, and there's so many map hackers in game of shit. And whenever I asked them, oh, what's your in-game name? I'll check. They would just dip. They would just disappear. So I think deep down they know that they're full of shit. Okay, let's check Harakiri. That is his other opponent. Yeah, I ain't seeing any zoom out hacks. I'm not seeing any map hacks. I'm seeing people playing the game. Have in mind, if you're playing League of Legends or CSGO or Dota, you can blame your allies for your loss, right? You didn't lose because you suck. Obviously, your allies suck. Now, when you play AOE4, if you're playing one-on-ones, well, there's no ally, so obviously it's a map hacker. And if you're playing team games with your ally, well, he doesn't suck. You guys don't suck as a team. It's the enemy that's cheating. Or, I mean, obviously, right? How else are you going to lose? There's no way they're better, right? So, let's see. He said, check which game did you say to check? Prairie, right? This one? Defeat. He said that one is sus. Okay. So, we got Programus and Shoom. What if I go on his thing and he's hacking? Do we check his ass? Check him ass? Okay, let's see. There it is. We are on Stormbreaker's thing. And he is not looking at Fog of War, he is sending his scout there. So I want to give you guys some tips. When I play the game, if I'm here, I will take the scout and I'm going to shift click it on the map. A lot of people look in Fog of War and send the scout there, right? The way to see if someone is hacking, or one of the ways you can see someone is hacking, is if they take the scout and then they look at Fog of War and they shift click on top of the sheep or something like that, right? He ran into a con. Now, to me already, this means that this guy, 99.9%, is not hacking. If he was hacking, why would he run into a con? Why wouldn't he just go around it, right? That doesn't make sense. Why would he send this scout into enemy scout instead of just scooping up the sheep around it, right? So, I mean, we can stay a little bit longer on this guy, but yeah, I don't see anything suspicious about this guy. That looked like he was just clicking his scout. He's sending his scout home. Looks pretty clean. Look, he sent. Look at his second scout. He just sent this scout into fucking deer pack over here, into the enemy, through the enemy thing. All right. Well, let's check green. This is green POV. And again, green does not have a zoom hack. He has a different camera angle. That is just a different camera angle. So let's see. Let's look at his POV. What is he looking at? What is he snacking at? Runs into the enemy scout again. So he could have turned here if he knew that the enemy scout was coming through this way. He didn't. He just ran into it straight away. Okay. He dodged the wolf. How? So which part of this game was suspicious to you? Programus. What part of this game you were like, bro, they're hacking for sure? Is it the fact that you lost? Of course not. I don't care about rank this much. Okay, well, what makes you say, and I quote, this is your quote, "Hey Beasty, why is there so many map hackers between Diamond 1 and Conquer 1? And then when I asked you how many, you said every third game. Okay, he says, 1, you made explanation about camera angle, so as I said, it makes things more clear for me. 2, there's usually some sus behavior if I'm checking a game. Let me tell you something, and I want you to be open-minded about this. There is no sus behavior in the game. You are just looking for one. So this is exactly what I said earlier. There is no sus behavior. What happens is you look in a replay with the mindset is that they're cheating, and then you find something that looks sus, and that confirms your suspicion that they're cheating. That's not what's happening, right? So here's a couple of examples and a couple of ways to tell if someone is map hacking, okay? Number 1, the zoom hack. You're playing with a normal camera. This is a normal camera, the one that you're playing with. What was it, this guy? This guy is playing with, and you can see it right here, camera. He's playing with panoramic. This, when it's zoomed out, is not a hack, that's the panoramic. The zoom hack can zoom out like this much, okay? The zoom hack can see like 2 bases at the same time. That's the level of cheating that is, okay? Now, another way you can tell someone is cheating, if they go and do this. Let me show you. So, if the game starts and your opponent does this, and they send a scout, and they go to your base, and they do this, and they do that multiple times a game, that's sus. If the opponent is like looking here and like sending their, they might be just sending scout. But if they're looking on top of your stuff in Fog of War, like your scout is here and they just go like this and they follow your scout, that's pretty sus. If the opponent like one time does this, like their mouse goes like this and then it goes back, maybe they just fucking like drop the mouse, right? If, let's say there are, I'm gonna show you another thing. Okay, we have some sheep here. So let's say there's sheep like this, spread out, right? Let's say this is Fog of War. The opponent doesn't see that. If the opponent does this, right? In Fog of War, on top of the sheep, that's clearly, very likely they're cheating. If it's on top of the sheep, there is a chance they're doing this, right? They're doing this. So they're just running through the sheep and getting them, right? That's normal. But if they're shift clicking on top of every sheep, I mean, that's pretty sus. But I feel like people are like, yo, that guy was just running into the sheep and he got all the sheep in the game. It's like, yeah, sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes you just go the right way and you get all the sheep. But if he's like, he goes here, he takes a sheep, like let's say there's a sheep right here. Okay, let's say there's a sheep right here. And then he turns around and he goes here and he finds 3 sheep, that's sus, right? Because why wouldn't you just go continue forward? That can be like a suspicious behavior. But that doesn't also mean he's map hacking. If this continues throughout multiple games, or throughout multiple instances of the same game, then yeah, that's very suspicious. But just someone getting a lot of sheep doesn't mean that they're hacking, right? Do people get banned for doing this? Yes, people do get banned for cheating, yes. Map hacking. I mean, there's a super obvious one where it's like, I'm sending a knight, like, let's say I'm sending a knight from here to harass this gold, and the villagers start running here without any vision, right? It's like he pre-moved the villager, but he didn't know where the knight is coming from. But in that case, you can't just be like, oh, that's sus, how did you know? You gotta check his point of view, because maybe he saw your knight coming here. Maybe he saw your knight leaving the base, and he just assumed it's gonna come from that angle, right? So you have to do those kinds of things. Shift click on the deer. Well, people don't kill deer anymore, but yeah, when people used to play against Rus or with Rus, people were shift clicking deer in Fog of War, right? So I just wanted to talk about this. And again, I want to give you a shout out, Programus, for actually giving your account and him saying, you know what, thanks, you cleared some stuff up because you didn't double or quadruple down, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate you giving out the account. There it is. Are there map hackers in AOE4? Yes. Are they every third game? No. Are they every fifth game? No. Do they happen once every 30, 40, 50, 100 players in 44s? Maybe. I don't know. I don't have the numbers. Do people hack almost every third game? No, they don't. And nobody can convince me of that. And if you are going to attempt, you're always welcome to submit your in-game name and I will check for you. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching live on Twitch and YouTube, keep going.